All right, so we're going to talk about why this is not libel or slander. Okay, so the issue here is that these drugs are abortifacient. So what does that mean? That means that these drugs do not prevent the pregnancy. The pregnancy is, the baby is here. The baby is brought into this world. The sperm has successfully met the egg. Okay, and if anybody who understands basic biology in the ninth grade will understand that the sperm will meet the egg, and that's when the baby with the unique DNA, 50% from the father and 50% from the mother, will be created at the moment of conception, and they will pretend that it's not. It's the moment of implantation for some strange reason, but it's not. The DNA is created at the moment of conception, right? So and then to make these videos here is not libel or slander against Dr. Dow, and because she's the one that put her signature on the prescription pad and caused the deaths of these young boys or young girls. All right, so let's get into it. So why this is not libel or slander? Truth as a defense. Libel and slander require the statement to be false. So nothing that I said, and if it is, please contact me because I want to make sure to correct any false information. I want to make sure that it's corrected. If the statement is factually correct or based on strong evidence, it is not defamation. It's not. We are not trying to attack her character, her intelligence, her it's not like that, right? We are just presenting the evidence of the facts of this crime. This is a serious crime, so matter of public concern. So the issue involves medical ethics and potential violation of human right. The right for this small boy or this small girl to the right to life, right? That had been killed by these abortifacients, which means the drugs designed to not to prevent that pregnancy, but to prevent the implantation, therefore killing the baby. Right? The small boy or the small girl was lost due to these drugs. Right? Discussing the conduct of public medical professionals is a matter of legitimate public interest, and we are legitimately interested in these medical professionals' conduct, and it's very fair. Right? And it's fair comment or opinion. Okay, so calling someone a murderer in a moral or ethical sense is an opinion, not an assertion of legal fact. Opinions, especially when based on disclosed facts, are protected speech. And there are laws that will protect this kind of. It's very important that we do have laws that will protect this kind of speech. A little bit more information about that. All right, so this defamation law recognizes the distinction between stating a false fact and expressing an opinion. Calling someone a murderer in a legal sense implies criminal conviction, which could be defamatory if untrue. However, using the term in a moral, ethical, or philosophical sense, especially when discussing controversial medical practices, is considered an opinion. For example, people commonly referred historical figures, politicians, or public figures as war criminals or killers without a court conviction. If the statement is based on publicly known facts, for example, prescribing drugs that lead to death, then it is protected under fair comment. Right? And fair comment applies when the statement is clearly an opinion rather than an assertion of legal fact. So it is true that our current justice system is and the College of Physician is protecting this kind of thing from reaching an indictment, right? So it's just it's acknowledged in the video. We did talk about how the College of Physicians and Surgeons will protect the doctor from accountability, and the opinion is based on publicly known or disclosed facts. Or this is not some sort of secret. Everybody kind of knows that, but they don't put two and two together, and they certainly don't understand the facts, right? So these. See, the problem is these 16, 17, 18-year-old girls will be put on these birth control pills, and at the time when they should be trying to find a suitable husband, and the wedding, the husband should be they should be doing that kind of stuff on their wedding night, not just the way that they're doing that kind of stuff, and just hooking up with a whole bunch of our society is a little bit missing some morals or whatever, but that's besides the point. But these drugs here are, like I said, abortifacient, and that means that they will not prevent the pregnancy. They will actually just kill the baby in the early stages of development, right? Um, which is very shameful. All right, so this is again, fair comment. This is a fair comment. This statement is clearly an opinion rather than assertion of legal fact. The opinion is based on publicly known or disclosed facts, and the topic is a matter of public interest, and there is no malicious intent to defame, but rather a genuine belief in the statement. I mean, there's no believing or anything. It is what it is. This is the truth. This is why critics, journalists, and commentators can make strong statements about public figures or controversial issues without it being defamation. If one believes that certain medical actions result in unjust deaths and states that belief, it falls under protected speech rather than libel. And that's what we have here. So, is there a malicious intent here? Well, not really, right? So I would much rather the prevention of further deaths than harming Dr. Dow's reputation. As I'm not interested in harming her reputation. I'm interested in preventing further deaths. So that is the intent here. So no malicious intent. Defamation requires intent to harm someone's reputation with falsehoods. If the discussion is rooted in genuine concern for ethics and public awareness, there is no defamation, and that is what's happening here. So legal versus moral definition of murder. While the law may not classify the act as murder in this current generation, in this current justice system, one can argue that morally and ethically it constitutes the unjust killing of a human being, a small boy or a small girl. Yeah, and that is absolutely what is happening. So making a philosophical argument does not equate to defamation, right? Precedent in criticism of public figures, right? Public officials, including doctors, engaged in controversial practices are subject to scrutiny and criticism. Courts often uphold the right to harshly criticize public figures. Lack of damages. Right? For a defamation claim to succeed, there must be demonstrable harm. If a doctor's reputation is already controversial due to their own actions, it is difficult to argue that criticism alone caused damage. All right, and I don't think anybody's going to agree that the bank account is it's so full that it will never be depleted. That bank account is quite healthy, and the house is made of strong bricks, and the nice lakefront mentioned there is also very nice. There's not any kind of want for any financial resources there. She's quite rich, very wealthy a person. All right, so burden of proof on the accuser. In a defamation case, the burden is on the plaintiff to prove that the statement was false and damaging. If the statement is backed by evidence or reasonable belief, the case would likely fail. So where is that evidence? That evidence that this statement is false, right? Where? And there is none, right? So that's what we're talking about. Why this is not libel, and it's certainly not slander. This is just an exposition of the crime, the greatest crime, the single greatest crime in history's humanity, right? There's no greater crime in the history of all human civilization than this right here, and this is why we are talking about it. And yeah, it's certainly stressful for me. I mean, I'm having a hard time to sleep and all this stuff, thinking about these poor victims. The small boy or the small girl that is denied the right to life. But there's one thing, and we're going to talk about it in the next video, is that they can never take away that humanity, and that's a really beautiful thing. We'll talk about that in the next video. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're talking about why this is not libel, it's not slander. There's not abuse. We're not abusing the staff here. We're not slandering Dr. Dow. Certainly not. These are truthful facts established in basic embryology. I mean, this is a fact. This is a baby, and the baby is being killed. A small boy or small girl will be be denied the right to life due to these abortifacients. It's quite egregious. I'll see you guys next time.